Will AI replace teachers? Well, today on the show, I'm going to debunk the 3 top myths about teachers, educators, and subject matter experts and AI. And I'm going to give you the 4 principles you can start implementing immediately into your life to future-proof yourself as a teacher, as an educator, and a subject matter expert so that you can serve your students and your customers even more powerfully than you are already. But let's start with the 3 biggest myths in 2025 about teachers and AI. Myth number 1, full replacement is imminent. A lot of people are saying that teachers are going to be fully replaced because of AI. And hey, at one point, I think I believed the same thing. This may be the biggest myth. And the reason why is simple. AI has knowledge and intelligence, not experience. AI has knowledge and intelligence. And what do teachers, educators, and subject matter experts have? Experience. And more specifically, the human experience. Now, Johnny, not every teacher has this. And hey, on another video on my YouTube channel, predating this podcast, I talk about how bad teachers are going to be replaced. Well, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, and that's because who really decides what a good and a bad teacher is? I would argue the students and the results that the students get decides that. But really, the better way to put this, or the more reasonable way to look at this, is that teachers, educators, and subject matter experts need the human experience, need experience in their lives to stay relevant as teachers. Does this mean that going to school to be a teacher becomes irrelevant? No. This means that if you are a teacher, you are an educator, when you are teaching your students, you need to focus on teaching from the human experience, your experience. AI is not human. AI will never be human. So while AI can express the knowledge and the intelligence to your students, and your students are going to be using AI. I run multiple businesses, eLearning partners, and Athlete with Asthma, and I have customers and students all over the world who turn to my brands because of my experience. I did not go to school for asthma. I have lived asthma my entire life since I was 4 years old. I also did not go to school for e-learning and for education. I lived e-learning and education my entire life. I've taken different courses, different learning experiences. I have learned in all sorts of different ways throughout my life. And what I do is I help others serve their customers, their employees, and their students powerfully by really embracing their experience as a human, by embracing their genius. And I go into this deeply about how to future-proof your career, your business, and your life in my future-proof learning community, which you can apply to see if it is the right fit for you, linked in the show notes or in the YouTube description below this video. You could also go to elearningpartners.com/FPL to apply today. By joining this powerful community, you will master AI, design transformational learning experiences, and stay ahead confidently and creatively as the future of education evolves. I want you to imagine, while others are being replaced by AI, you are thriving and serving more and more learners and customers than ever before. You're also going to be able to interact with like-minded individuals, educators, teachers, professors, course creators, business owners around the world to grow together in your career, your businesses, and your life. If you are looking to get promoted at your job or take your business to the next level, the future-proof learning community is the next step for you. So that's myth number one. Full replacement is not imminent. Teachers, educators, subject matter experts who teach just for knowledge and intelligence will be replaced. If you're teaching from your experience and you're genuinely creating a personal connection with your students, with your learners, you will never be replaced. You will create transformation in your students and your learners' lives. And as long as you are focused on that, the transformation of your learners, and doing that with the experience that you have in your life, that human experience that you have, you're going to be able to serve your students and your learners even more powerfully than you are today. Myth number two is that teachers hate AI. Well, I'll tell you this. If you are a teacher or an educator that does hate AI, this is your wake-up call to stop hating AI. Because the teachers, educators, subject matter experts that hate AI, that avoid AI, are going to be replaced. The teachers and educators that partner with AI are going to thrive. And I invite you to partner with AI starting today. I know that this has completely changed how you actually assess the results that your students are getting. We used to be able to have our students take assessments, take quizzes, take exams, write papers at home, all these different things. And now you're not sure if they're going to do it themselves or if they're going to use AI to do it. Well, if AI is here to stay, then you are actually serving your students even more powerfully by teaching them how to use it powerfully, by using AI yourself powerfully. So really, you need to get rid of the hate. And by the way, teachers don't hate AI. There are many teachers embracing AI and coming up with creative projects for their students using AI. There's lots of teachers who are saving time by grading with AI. AI is a powerful tool. What we really need to do is transform how we are teaching our students and really focus on the results that they're getting instead of how our students are regurgitating information on an exam. And that really brings me to myth number three. AI doesn't really save time. And once again, if you believe in this, this is your wake-up call. It does save time. I have been able to cut my work week from 100 to an 80-hour work week all the way down to a 16 to 20-hour work week by utilizing AI. So I'm getting more done in 1 week working 16 to 20 hours than I used to working 40 hours for 2 weeks. I'm actually getting more done in 1 week than I used to get done in a month because of partnering with AI. And you can do the same thing as an educator and a subject matter expert. For example, my company, Athlete with Asthma, what I'm able to do with AI is not only build powerful podcast episodes and YouTube videos to serve my audience powerfully. I've been able to build my first course for that business in less than a month and get it out in front of my learners. I've been able to cut all of the administrative tasks related to that business down to only a couple hours per week. I'm able to run a weekly podcast, put out multiple shorts per week, and interact with my audience with a fraction of the time. And at Athlete with Asthma, I'm really just a one-person team. At eLearning Partners, we have a handful of team members, but we used to have 15 plus team members, including contractors and employees. Now we're able to do the same amount of work and more with less people. We're able to serve more people, serve more learners, more customers because of partnering with AI. And I teach all of this in my future-proof learning community that you can apply in the show notes of this podcast or in the YouTube description below this video. So these are the 3 myths. Now, if you fall into the camp of disagreeing with these 3 myths and already knowing that these 3 myths are myths, you are in really good shape. Now, maybe 1 or 2 of these you do agree with. Well, that's okay, because now I have the 4 things that you can do today to start future-proofing yourself as an educator for now and the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years into the future. Now, these 4 things I'm going to share with you are integral to you future-proofing your career, your business, and your life. And we dig into these things even deeper as a community in the Future-Proof Learning community. Number 1 is future-proof your mindset. This is the backbone. This isn't just the backbone of being an educator, a teacher, a subject matter expert. This is the backbone of the human existence. When you future-proof your mindset, what you're doing is you are shifting from scarcity to abundance. So back to those myths. If you believe that it is imminent that teachers are all going to be replaced, you're operating in scarcity. If you believe that teachers are always going to be needed because humans connect with humans and the human experience is valuable, then you are going to grow as an educator. You're going to be more creative as an educator, as a course creator, as a learning experience developer. You are going to have better energy, positive energy. Scarcity energy is very low vibrational energy. Abundance energy is high, it's creative, it's opportunity. You're also going to be moving away from obstacles or seeing obstacles and towards seeing opportunities. This is why you need to future-proof your mindset. Start focusing on the abundance, the opportunities. Number 2, partner with AI if you haven't already. But Johnny, I don't know where to start. How do I partner with AI? Well, I invite you to start slow, start easy. You can start integrating AI into your daily life. Start with asking AI, whatever platform you want to use. My favorite as of the recording of this episode is ChatGPT, but I also use Gemini, Perplexity, all these different ones. And depending on when you're listening to this and watching this, there are probably dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds of other options. When we partner with AI, we want to start small. Maybe start with a workout routine or a recipe to cook. Maybe you only have a couple items in your refrigerator. Like the other day, all I had was tofu and Brussels sprouts, and I asked ChatGPT to help me come up with something to cook with tofu and Brussels sprouts. And now it's one of my fiance and my favorite things to eat. It's just tofu with Brussels sprouts, put in the oven, and with soy sauce or coconut aminos we make, and it tastes amazing. And I figured out how to create that recipe by partnering with AI. So I want you to start with partnering with AI and just little things in your life. You remember when you first started using Google and realized you can ask Google really anything? It's the same thing with AI. You need to start integrating it into your life, partnering with it in your classes, in your departments, in your business, to really see how it can help you serve more people and serve your people even more powerfully. So partner with AI. Number 3 is deliver transformation, not just information. Remember the myths? Information is really where AI shines. Information backed by intelligence. You and I, humans here, we have information, we have knowledge backed by experience. And really, in the end of the day, no matter who our students are, who our learners are, they want transformation in their lives. So it doesn't really matter if they do well on a test or not. I was terrible at tests in school. I still did better than some people who really struggled with standardized tests and testing. But I always thought that tests were really dumb. I always thought that tests just weren't a good gauge for if I was actually understanding the information and transforming in that class. Because great, I memorized a bunch of stuff, took the test, and the next day I forget everything. It was really the classes where I actually got into the weeds and did the thing and had the transformation, where I actually started getting results in my life, that stuck with me. Like the best classes I ever took in school were my film classes, because in the film classes, we actually made movies. We were learning to make movies, and that's what we did. Isn't that a crazy concept? Film school, you go to film school to learn how to make movies, and then what do? You make movies. Film school may be the best thing that I ever did when it comes from an education perspective. Business school should be all about building a business, but instead it's all this theory. When I did my MBA, that is where we actually built businesses. I'm sorry, all this theory we learned in business school isn't even applicable to what I do today with running 2 businesses. We need to transform our students, not just have them regurgitate information. So focus on transformation, focus on the outcome for your student. Stop focusing on, oh my God, I can't test them anymore because ChatGPT is just gonna tell them all the answers. Oh my God, I can't have them go do a paper at home because ChatGPT is gonna write it for them. And by the way, you're not gonna be able to tell that ChatGPT wrote it very soon, if not already, when you're listening to this and watching this. So let's teach them differently. Let's get the results for our learners. Let's have them do the thing instead of write about the thing. Number 4, create personal connection. This is something we can only do. Now I know that you can talk to ChatGPT. You can ask it for advice. It's actually really supportive, but biologically humans crave personal connection with other humans. We crave community. We crave being around other people. It's what we want at our core as a species. So in all the work that you do, you need to connect with your learners. Share your experience, share your story, and change your learners' lives. Now, if you want to take all of this to the next level, I highly recommend that you apply for my future-proof learning community, and I'll see you in the next episode.